you're prepared to break the silence, I'll be out in the sunshine, running beside the lions. I've been feeling down, but I've been looking up, afraid to fall. God, I've been so down, can you pick me up? Don't let me fall. Can you show me how to fix this mess? I am down and on my knees, and I may fall as I'm so close to the edge.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel. And yes, the return of the Prem Predictions Show is back, and we are back for match week 22. Please leave a like on the video and subscribe if you are new, and we will get on with this. It is great to be back with you guys. So the first fixture of match week 22, these are all played on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and we have Nottingham Forest against Arsenal. Now, the first thing I think you can say about this game is that Arteta does not have the best of records here. Last season, he lost by, I think it was a goal to nil. And in the season previous, he did actually lose again. I think it was in the FA Cup as well. So when I look at this Forest team, look, I know they're a team that are on a path towards potential, obviously, punishment of obviously FFP as well. They did draw with Bristol City in the FA Cup, so that's obviously going to have to go to another replay, which is going to be very, very interesting, I have to say, as well. But since Nuno's came in, Forest look a different team to me. They look a different team. They look a different team under Nuno. And I think as well, the former Morgan Gibbs-White is a big, big plus for me. I think he's been a fantastic player. I know he's been linked with Newcastle, I think in January or the summer. Wouldn't surprise me if he does go. Would not surprise me if he does go, to say at the very, very least. But the former Chris Wood as well, you have to say. So this is a really difficult game for Arsenal. And I know Arsenal did win by 5-0 against Crystal Palace. But in that game, you have to say it wasn't so free-flowing Arsenal. It wasn't sort of the free-flowing Arsenal that we've been known to sort of see recently. And I look at Arsenal and I think this is a really, really good side. But where are the goals coming from? You know, I think they're one of the lowest scorers for like open play goals. You know, it seems to be set pieces. A lot of set pieces, obviously against Crystal Palace, they scored a couple of set pieces with obviously Gabriel scoring as well. But the way I just look at Arsenal at this moment in time, you just don't know what you're going to get with them. And as I said, Arteta has a very, very poor record at the City ground. And you know what? I'm going to go for a shock result here. It would not surprise me. Forest have already beaten Manchester United this season as well at the City ground, and they have had a few scalps, and they have had a few bad results in there in between. But look, I've got to say, I think Forest are going to shock Arsenal here, and I'm going to go for Nottingham Forest to beat the Gunners by 2-1. Okay, let me know your prediction for that one, because it's a very, very interesting game, that one. And now we move on to Fulham against Everton. Fulham have slightly lost their way a little bit, I'd have to say. Obviously, going out of the FA Cup and obviously going out of the League Cup as well in the space of a matter of a couple of days is not great. Not great, is it, for Fulham? Obviously, they did go out to obviously Liverpool in the League Cup as well, but going out to Newcastle, which it just wasn't a great performance from Fulham. And I know they have had a few injuries as well, and I know they rotated the team a little bit as well. But if I'm a Fulham fan, I'd be very disappointed to go and lose that game against Newcastle. I honestly felt for that game, I felt that probably Fulham had Newcastle there for the taking. So if you want to say that as well, they did obviously lose to Chelsea in the last game in the Premier League as well. Fulham are a very iffy team at the moment, and I look at them as well, and they are playing well. but they're not getting the results. And that must be so frustrating for Marco Silva. If you're an Everton fan, well, you must be very, very frustrated because a 0-0 draw of Aston Villa was a very, very good result. You have to say it was a very, very good result. Yes, probably should have got the 3 points, but they didn't. Then they go and lose to Luton Town for the second consecutive game at Goodison Park. They lost to Luton Town by 2-1. Same scoreline and basically the same outcome. They lost in the FA Cup to Luton Town. So congratulations to Luton Town, which is a fantastic result for them. And obviously Everton, again, are another team who have another financial fair play punishment over their heads. You just don't know what they're going to get. I mean, look, I do feel sorry for Everton. I think they've been treated really, really harshly, I think, by the Premier League. They've sort of been made a sort of an example of, you'd have to say. I do think, though, if you get charged twice, then there's probably no coming back. There's probably no coming back. But Sean Dyche will still have his players pumped up for this game. How do I see this going? I've got to say, I can't really separate Fulham and Everton. I can't really separate. I mean, Fulham did actually win at Goodison Park early in the season by 1-0. If you remember. I think Everton actually went on a 3-game streak at Goodison Park where they just couldn't get a result. And I think questions were being asked of Sean Dyche at the time as well. But as I said, Fulham playing well, not getting the results. And that last time out against Chelsea, played all right, but they didn't get the result. There should have been potentially a red card in that game as well. We will obviously come to Chelsea later on in the video. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I can't separate these two. I think they will cancel each other out, and I have a feeling that is going to be the outcome. I'm going to go for Fulham 1, Everton 1. And off to Kenilworth Road now for Luton Town against Brighton. Luton Town going very, very well. I know they are 18th in the table at this moment in time, but you wouldn't back against them to actually have actually survival. You're not back against them. The way that they're playing, Rob Edwards has got them really, really good team leadership there, and I've got to say, beating Everton again was very, very good. Very, very good to see from them as well. Winning that in the FA Cup. Yes, I know they got Manchester City in the next round. And again, that is not an easy place to go to. We've known this season that Kenilworth Road is not an easy place to go to. But they are coming up against one of the informed sides in Brighton and Hove Albion, who, let's be honest, they did have a 0-0 draw with Wolves. We won't get into that because not a great game, that one. But 5-2 winners over Sheffield United in the FA Cup. So very, very well done to Brighton. And obviously, João Pedro is in the form of his life at this moment in time. He got a hat-trick at the weekend against Sheffield United. So you probably say maybe one of the first names on your fantasy Premier League. I think you'd have to say that would probably be wise. That would probably be wise in this one. As I said, Kenilworth Road, very, very tricky place to go to. But Brighton seem to be finding it easy at the moment. They seem to be finding results from nowhere. And this is obviously without Karu Mitoma as well. So really, really good to see from Roberto De Zerbi's side. And I think Brighton will come away with the 3 points in this one. I've just got a feeling that Brighton will be just a little bit too strong for Luton Town. But I have to say, this result will not depend on Luton Town's season. It is about the teams in and around them. And I have to say, Luton Town, for me, at this moment in time, look capable of staying in the Premier League. And I think if they were to get the next couple of results, which you would obviously look at the games against probably Everton. It's obviously Kenilworth Road. That would be one that you would look to see potentially them winning. So it's not all doom and gloom for Luton Town, but unfortunately, I'm going to give Brighton the win here. I think they're going to be a little bit too strong for Luton Town here. Luton Town 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. And now we have Crystal Palace against Sheffield United. Really, really interesting game, this one. Really, really interesting game, this one. Crystal Palace are just not in great form at this moment in time. Question marks over Roy Hodgson's future. I don't think he's got long left, I'll be honest. I think you've got to give him this game. You've probably got to give him the next again game as well. But the way things are going for Crystal Palace at the moment, look, 5-0 against Arsenal was not a great result. Let's be honest. It was not a great result. To concede 2 goals in the 90th minute as well was very, very disappointing as well. I know they obviously had tired legs out, but unfortunately, Roy Hodgson has been a very, very good manager for them. He has been a very good manager for them. But I do think his time is coming to an end. And it wouldn't surprise me if, that this could be one of the shock results of the game week. I really, really could see this. Sheffield United, I know they had the 2-2 draw with West Ham, which was a very, very good result. But they did get beat 5-2 by Brighton. And yes, I know they sort of rotated as well. But actually, since Chris Wilder's came in, he has made them a little bit, difficult to beat. He has made them a little bit more sort of toughen up at the back, which is always good to see as well. And you know what? It would not surprise me if they got a result here. Would not surprise me in the slightest. Crystal Palace not in the best of form at this moment in time. When is there never a better time to go to Selhurst Park and get a victory? Maybe this might be the time. Maybe this might be the time for them. And if Sheffield United win, it does put pressure on obviously Burnley and Luton Town down there as well. And I'm gonna give the Blades the victory. I'm gonna give Blades the victory. I've got a funny feeling that this could be one of those games that you see the Blades win, and I'm gonna go for them to sneak a 1-0 victory at Selhurst Park. And now one of the games of the season, Aston Villa against Newcastle United. Very interesting game, this one, because obviously we all know what happened the last time these two played. Newcastle beat Aston Villa by 5-1. Nobody saw that coming. But Aston Villa currently sit in that top 4. Well, they did the last time I seen. Maybe they have obviously moved down quite recently. But I have to say, Aston Villa have really impressed me this season. Especially at home. They have been very, very good at home. I know Sheffield United did sort of put a rabbit in the hat there and obviously got a 1-1 draw with them at Villa Park. But Aston Villa are very strong at home. Very, very strong at home. And with a spine of obviously Emi Martinez, Konza, obviously Carlos and Longley as well. This is going to be very, very difficult game for Newcastle. As well, Newcastle United did very, very well to get through against Fulham in the FA Cup. They did lose 3-2 to Manchester City as well. They'll be disappointed that they did lose that game, wouldn't they? But this game, I'm going to give Villa the win. I think if we look at recent games between Aston Villa and Newcastle United, Aston Villa do tend to do well against Newcastle United, and especially at Villa Park. And I've got a feeling that this is going to be a bit of a good game for them. I've got to be honest. Newcastle United not in the best of form at this moment in time. I'm going to give Aston Villa a 2-0 victory over Newcastle United. Now we move into the Wednesday games. We have Manchester City against Burnley. Manchester City getting through. Yes, they've finally scored a goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Finally beat Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium 1-0. Nathan Ake with the winning goal. And when they played Newcastle United, Kevin De Bruyne, well, he is back, isn't he? He is back. I mean, a goal and assist. It's just like he's never been away. Look, I've been saying this all season. Manchester City are a completely different team without Kevin De Bruyne. We all know what he can do. We all know his very, very magical play in that midfield, and he gives them so much more to offer. And I think Manchester City will be a much better team for that. And I think they are starting to get into their dangerous mood as well. Burnley 1-1 with Luton, which is a disappointing result. You have to say as well. They were all but winning that game, and then all of a sudden, a really controversial VAR decision gave obviously Luton Town that equaliser. But look, I've got to say this: City, De Bruyne is returning. Holland is not far away as well, and we all know when Manchester City play Burnley, it usually ends up in a big victory, don't we? We usually see a big victory here. And that's not going to change in my prediction. I'm sorry, Burnley. I think you're in for a very long night at the Etihad. You have done well in there in the past. You have done well there in the past. 3-1 victory for Manchester City in the corresponding game earlier this season. But I'm going to say this. I think City will just be too much for Burnley. I'm going to give Manchester City a 5-0 victory over Burnley. And obviously, Vincent Kompany returning to the Etihad Stadium for the first time in the Premier League. And now we have a London derby. We have Tottenham against Brentford. Yeah, Tottenham going out of the FA Cup to Manchester City. So another trophyless season for Tottenham. Not good if you are a Tottenham fan. And in the Premier League, last time out, they drew 2-2 against Manchester United. Bentancur did get the equaliser that day. But I have said this for a while. Tottenham do look a different team without Heung-min Son. I think it's starting to show. Look, Werner, very good. Richarlison has been adding to his goals this season as well, but it's not prolific enough. He isn't prolific enough, and I think you're kind of seeing Brennan Johnson, very good player. Nobody has a Son though. Nobody has a Son, but James Maddison is returning as well. Brentford. Ivan Toney's back, ladies and gentlemen. Ivan Toney is back, and let's be honest, that goal that he scored should have been moved. Should have been moved back, shouldn't it? Look, Ivan Toney, very good player, very good player. I think he will stay with Brentford. I don't think he's going to go anywhere anytime soon. I don't think he's going to go anywhere time soon. So this is a really interesting game, actually, between these two. Now, as I said, Tottenham do look a different team without Heung-min Son. Brentford look a completely different team with Ivan Toney back in their side. And I just have a feeling that we might see another upset here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Brentford. I think Ivan Toney could be the difference in this game, but we shall see. Won't we? We shall see. Tottenham 1, Brentford 2. And now we have the dress rehearsal of the Carabao Cup final. Liverpool against Chelsea. Yeah, Liverpool 5-2 winners over Norwich City. Before that, they did beat Bournemouth by 4-0. And the form of Diogo Jota is something to look at, isn't it? And obviously, the Klopp farewell tour has begun. Yeah, big shock. I don't think anyone saw Jurgen Klopp saying he was going to come out and say that he was going to leave Liverpool this summer. But fair play to him. Fair play to what he's done in the 9 years that he has been at Liverpool. Completely transformed them, hasn't he? Chelsea, difficult to say with Chelsea. 6-1 winners against Middlesbrough. Brilliant. They were brilliant in that game. 1-0 against Fulham. Okay. They were slightly lucky to win that game. 0-0 against Aston Villa. You don't know what Chelsea's going to turn up, do you? Chelsea are so inconsistent. And this is the thing with Chelsea. They always seem to draw with Liverpool. They always seem to draw with Liverpool. But at this moment in time, Liverpool, free scoring, 5-2 winners over Norwich, 4-0 winners over Bournemouth. I'm going to give Liverpool the victory. And that would be a big boost going into, obviously, the Carabao Cup final. I do think Liverpool are going to win this one. I'm going to go Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0. And now we have 2 games on the Thursday before we finish. West Ham United against Bournemouth. Yeah, West Ham, interestingly enough, 2-2 with Sheffield United in a very, very interesting game, has to be said. James Ward-Prowse obviously getting on the score sheet as well. But they will obviously be without Soufal, who did get two stupid yellow cards, it has to be said, as well. West Ham, I think if if you're a West Ham fan, you'd be very, very pleased where you are in the Premier League table. You are sitting sixth at this moment in time. And they are doing well, West Ham. They are doing very, very well at this moment in time. But they are coming up against one of the informed sides in Bournemouth. Look, 4-0 Liverpool. I don't think anyone kind of saw that one coming, if I'm being completely honest. Because of the way that Bournemouth have been playing recently, I don't think anyone saw that coming. Don't think anyone saw that coming. And obviously, the form of Dominic Solanke is definitely coming into play. But Bournemouth did actually enjoy a 5-0 win over Swansea. All 5 goals coming in the first half. Incredible. Absolutely incredible as well. And look, and Doni Iriola does deserve a lot of credit for turning it around, basically. Because Bournemouth were dead and buried at the start of the season under his stewardship. But since something's clicked and they've gone into gear, and then obviously Dominic Solanke is one at the forefront of that. Very difficult one to call. I am going to go for a draw in this one. I think it could be one that could be played out in a very, very good game. And I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between West Ham and Bournemouth. And the final game of the match week 22 is Wolves against Manchester United. And again, Wolves 2-0 winners over West Brom. Won't go into the crowd trouble because that did kind of mar that game. But Gary O'Neill's done a magnificent job at Wolves, you have to say, as well. The other thing is, earlier this season, Wolves played really well at Old Trafford. Were unlucky to lose in the end. Probably should have had that penalty at the end. We all know what Nana has done this season. And look, this is a big question for Erik ten Hag now. Will Andre Onana come back into the side? Which you will see. We shall see, won't we? Man United 2-2 with Tottenham. Again, played very, very well in that game, but didn't see out the result. And this is the problem with Manchester United. They've been playing well, but they've not been seeing out results. Newport County, on the other hand, 2-0 up, absolutely cruising. Then Newport pegged them back to 2-2. You just don't know what Manchester United you're gonna get. I do think that Erik ten Hag's under pressure. I do. I really, really do. And I think as well, if you look at Erik ten Hag, I think it's top four or bust. Because if he doesn't get top four, I think he's waving bye-bye. Because Ineos have obviously came in. So Jim Radcliffe has obviously Sir Dave Brailsford has came in as well. They will be looking at Manchester United results, and they'll be like, we know what we want. We know what we want. Top four, Champions League. That is the key for Manchester United, and unfortunately, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Erik ten Hag at this moment in time. And again, Manchester United so inconsistent when it comes to this game. I thought Wolves were fantastic when they played Manchester United earlier in the season, and isn't Molineux under the lights as well? And I think Wolves are going to win this game. I would not be surprised if they do win. I'm going to go for Wolves 2, Manchester United 1. So there we are. There are my predictions for match week 22. I may just say it's fantastic to be back. I have been missing doing these Premier League prediction videos over the last couple of months, but it is good to be back, have to be said. So I'll go for my predictions very, very quickly. Nottingham Forest 2, Arsenal 1. Fulham 1, Everton 1. Luton Town 0, Brighton 2. Crystal Palace 0, Sheffield United 1. Aston Villa 2, Newcastle United 0. Manchester City 5, Burnley 0. Tottenham 1, Brentford 2. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0. West Ham United 1, Bournemouth 1. And Wolves 2, Manchester United one. So there we go. There are my predictions. Please get yours in the comment section down below. Please leave a like on the video as you leave it. And also please subscribe if you are new. And remember to leave your predictions in the comment section down below. And I will see you all in the next video. See you later. Bye-bye.
Give me all you've got if you're prepared to break the silence. I'll be out in the sunshine, running beside the lion.